Because that mindset that there's always January to start over, we're not promised tomorrow, and it's a lot of pressure to put on January. Welcome back to the In Between Mama podcast. I'm your host, Riley Sandrell, and today this is another solo episode. So today I want to talk about postpartum bodies, the holidays, truth around all of this in general. And I'm going to have my binder because my brain is too scattered to be able to do this on its own. So this is the In Between Mama podcast, right? We're not at the beginning. We're not finished by any means, but we are somewhere in the middle. So working on ourselves, working on our mindset, doing great some days, and then other days very much struggling. So this has been on my mind a lot because this is currently me. And I am a year postpartum now with my second son, almost 3 years with my first, which I don't really know how that works. I guess the time clock just resets or we start from 3 years, not really sure. But either way, it's been a minute since I have been in my pre-baby body, which didn't love that much either. I've always kind of struggled with my body in general. Looking back, I see in pictures now from times when I was in middle school and high school thinking that I was extremely unhealthy, thinking that I was extremely overweight, only to find out now looking back I was very much not. And so I don't know if that's officially body dysmorphia. I don't know if that's something you have to be like diagnosed with, but I guess I'm just going to self-diagnose it because I definitely do not see what other people see when I look at my body. I feel like I am a stranger in my body most days, and I really struggle to like it. I really struggle even with the fact that God made me in his image, and it's hard for me to put those things together sometimes and actually like what I see in the mirror. And that's not the best. That's not how I want to be living my life. I don't want to be living my life completely surrounded around what I'm eating, how much I'm working out, feeling guilt around foods, feeling guilt around I don't know, just not liking my body 90% of the time is not fun. Not wanting to go somewhere because I don't have an outfit that makes me feel comfortable, constantly worrying about like how I look in a video if I'm showing my baby belly and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's not a fun way to live. And I have really fallen into a comparison trap lately, and it's because I've been trying to lose weight and I've been doing all of these things to try to improve my body from the state that it was in postpartum with my second, and just trying to finally get rid of some of the extra weight that I was holding on to that I didn't want to hold on to anymore and that my body was better off without. And I've gotten to a point that I would say I'm healthy and I'm at my goal per se, but it just doesn't ever seem to be enough. And that is where the problem is, because it's great to be healthy. It's great to go after your health goals and to want to be and look a certain way. But what's not healthy is then when I am picking at myself and saying, well, I don't look like her, or she looks better than me, or she bounced back better than I did, or or getting mad at my body for not doing what I want it to do and not looking how I want it to look, and feeling like I'm just stuck in this body for the rest of my life. And that's not how God wants me to look at my body. And so that's just something I want to talk about today, because I feel like I'm definitely not the only one. I'd say the majority of women don't bounce back, and those that have the desire and money to surgically do that, that's great for you. Wish I could do that, but at the same time I don't, because it kind of goes against some of my other health beliefs. So that's just like a complicated thing. But anyway, all that to say, it's really hard when you see all these people on social media. Like, we were never meant to be exposed to this amount of people doing things the way that they're doing them, because it just breeds resentment, and it breeds comparison, and it breeds jealousy and lust, and it's not what God intended for us. So I want to talk about a few things that I'm challenging myself to do during this holiday season to help manage my health goals without being obnoxious and making everything about my body, because I want to walk into December, and really actually November is when I'm recording this in October. I want to walk into November and December loving myself, loving who God has made me to be, loving the body that God has given me, and admiring how far it has gotten me, and also continuing to respect the way that I feel and the goals that I have and everything that I have done to get to where I am right now. Typically during the holiday season, I binge and I go all out and I do whatever I want because I'm in sweaters, and sweaters hide things I don't want other people to see. And the food is right in front of me, and nobody's going to judge me if I have 3 pieces of pie because everyone else is having 3 pieces of pie, even though I'm not going to feel good after that. So this holiday season, I'm trying to focus on maintaining my health goals, but also feeling good throughout the entirety of the season, beginning, middle, and end. So that means in preparation, while I'm actually at these events enjoying myself, and then after. Because I know if I'm going into an event like wearing these tight things and trying to like fit into Spanx and do all of these things to try to make me feel good, I'm not going to feel good during the event because I'm going to feel like I'm about to bust out a can, like I don't want to be a busted can of biscuits at Christmas. I want to eat biscuits, So going in, preparing comfortably, but also being there and not eating the whole can of biscuits, because then after, if I do all of that, I'm going to feel like crap, and I don't want to feel like crap after. Like, my goal is to walk into January feeling great, feeling re-energized, feeling rested, and not feeling like, oh, I now have to get to the gym with everyone else and lose 10 pounds the first few weeks of January, or, oh, wow, I'm super bloated, or hating how I looked in photos because I just did whatever I wanted to. And I feel like there is a difference between enjoying yourself in moderation and just honestly indulging in gluttony, and that's not something a lot of Christians like to talk about, but I do because it's something that I struggle with, because sometimes I will be left alone with a kitchen full of cookies and I will eat all of them because the opportunity may not arise again and nobody's there to watch me. And that's a problem because I feel like crap, and that's not good for my body in general. So, anyway, all of that ranting and on to go. I don't want to walk into this holiday season talking about my body. I mean, obviously that's what I'm doing right now, but I don't want it to be the main topic of conversation at every holiday event. I don't want to be going into events saying, oh, I can't eat any of this because of X, Y, or Z. Like, people don't need to know that, because then it breeds like this spirit of, oh, well then maybe I shouldn't be eating that. And 90% of the time we probably shouldn't be eating these things, but it's once a year and it's just a little bit, So I don't know. Maybe this isn't making sense to anyone, or maybe it's making sense to the exact people it's supposed to make sense to. So if it doesn't make sense to you, I guess just keep on keeping on. But I really want to be intentional about not talking about weight and not talking about how I look, and not talking about and being restrictive at events and such to make people feel uncomfortable, and to not make myself feel uncomfortable or try to make myself feel better because, oh, I'm not eating that and they are. Like, that's not good either. So I really am encouraging you, but also encouraging myself to just not talk about it, because it's easy to talk about your body. It's easy to talk about your goals. It's easy, especially when you've lost weight, for people to make that the main topic of conversation. And I don't want that to be the main topic of conversation. So that's actually a different point for later. Of course, I'm skipping ahead of myself, but the other thing I really want to do is pace myself. So smaller portions. The holidays are known for not small portions. We get these giant plates, we load them up, go back for leftovers, and we take leftovers home and we eat it for days. And, this year I want to pace myself and I want to choose what's worth it. And I want to focus on nutrition and those solid foundations I've already established to get me through. So, for instance, Thanksgiving. Do I need 3 times the amount of carbs to the amount of protein I have on my plate? No, I can still enjoy the carbs, but switching those ratios so that I know I'm still getting what I need to feel good and for my body to operate well. So then after I'm done eating, I'm not like passed out in the corner because I'm in a food coma. I'm actually still able to be there and enjoy conversation and feel good and help get my kids packed up and not feel gross and heavy and like I can't digest anything for days after that, you know? Like these are the real realities of this. So I'm encouraging myself and encouraging you to pace yourself. Decide what's worth it. Pick and choose. You don't have to eat everything, or you don't have to eat a bunch of everything. And you know, if this is common sense to you, then I guess this just isn't a problem. But this has not been common sense to me, because it's like, oh, it's the holidays, I'm gonna go crazy. But it doesn't feel good. It might feel good in the very moment to go crazy, but after that, it does not feel good. And then it's just more months of working to backtrack. And I want to move forward. I don't want to keep looking to the past. I feel like that's biblical too, but I don't remember where. So don't quote me on that. But my last thing that I'm going to focus on is maintaining my routine any other day of the week. So yes, enjoying myself during the actual holiday events. We go to a little festival. I'm going to have a little treat. We're going to go to a Christmas party. I'm going to have a little treat, you know? But I am not going to justify treats every other day of the month because it's Christmas time. You feel? Because I like to bake cookies, and I bake enough cookies for like a few family holiday boards plus some. And I usually eat the plus some because it's easy. It's right there. And so I need to be intentional in what I choose to bring into our house, and then choosing to be intentional when I'm out and about to say, how have I nourished myself today? Have I moved? Is this worth it? Is this going to make me feel better or feel worse after? Because if I have a super sugary latte and a super sugary sugar cookie from the coffee shop, I'm probably not going to feel good after, and then my entire day is going to be thrown off because my brain won't work, you know? So I know that about myself. So being conscious about not stopping your routine during the rest of the season, continuing to move your body. I'm a big fan of exercising at home because it's easier for me. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And a working from home mom, I can't just go to the gym. I have little kids. I don't want to pay for a gym, and I don't have a gym locally that I would trust to watch my kids. So I either have the choice to work out at home or not move at all. And when I say work out, I'm just like moving my body and occasionally doing something a little bit more intense. But I either have the choice to move my body or I choose not to. And so on the days that I choose to, I feel better. So if I'm doing that intentionally, continually throughout the season, it's going to not make me feel as bad when I deviate from that, when I take a few days off, or if I enjoy myself with foods or drinks or whatever it is, or even just staying out late. Like this goes way beyond just what you eat. Also like sleep and all of the other habits that tend to go to the wayside and lead to flu season, you know? So my goal is to not stop working out, not stop eating, not stop like eating well, nutritionally balanced, you know, not stop getting in my Bible, not stopping, literally just all of the things that I usually kind of just let go to the side because it's the holidays and I'm enjoying myself, you know? Because that mindset that there's always January to start over, we're not promised tomorrow, and that's a lot of pressure to put on January. So the last thing I want to say is you don't have to be all or nothing. And that kind of goes into all of this, like moderation. And let's be conscious in our conversations this season. So not just you bringing it up about yourself, but bringing it up about other people. So the first comment to come out of your mouth when you see someone for the first time in a couple of months, cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever, grandchildren, children, should not be, oh wow, you lost a lot of weight, or oh wow, you've gained weight, or oh wow, you need to lose a few, or oh wow, you look different. Like, that does not need to be the first thing that comes out of your mouth. That doesn't ever actually need to come out of your mouth. It's different when you're having a very personal conversation with someone that you love and trust and have a mutual understanding with, because they've asked you to speak into their life, and it's a very specific scenario. But the rule of thumb should be, don't comment on someone's body, period, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know the journey that they've been on. You don't know what else is going on in their life. You don't know if they've been mentally struggling. You don't know if there's a physical condition that's keeping them there. And really, it does not matter. Like, their body, their weight, their health plan, none of it matters. There's a million things more interesting than the body that they come in. Okay? So I really encourage you, when you see family members this season, don't comment on their weight or how they look. Comment on all of the achievements they've made in the last year. Comment on their cookies they brought. Like, I don't know, but just find something else to talk about, because there's a million other things more interesting than their bodies. Okay? So, also, one more thing I want to note about this is that we need to be conscious about how we're modeling this for our kids. If I don't know how to treat myself healthy, if I don't know how to talk to myself in a healthy way, if I don't know how to talk to other people and treat them in a healthy way, like the comment thing, how am I supposed to model that for my kids? Because we'll just keep perpetuating this really unhealthy habit, and that's not what we want for our kids. Like, how you act in front of them, and then also how you talk to other people after you leave them. Your kids will notice that, and they will take note, and they will follow suit. So be conscious of all of that this holiday season. That is all I have for you today. My back is hurting from sitting on this backless stool, and I need to go feed my kids and stretch my sourdough bread. Because yes, I do eat bread still, and that is one of the things that I enjoy in life, and making bread is very lovely. If you want to learn how to make bread, I have a little guide, and I will send it to you for free. I literally just made it for my friends, because passing on the art of artisanal sourdough is a beautiful thing, and I thank God for it. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You can subscribe on Spotify. You can subscribe on YouTube. And this is actually the last episode of the first season of the In Between Mama podcast. I really appreciate everyone who has tuned in and listened. I don't know when the second season is coming, because I'm working on other things, but I'm really just thankful for all of the guests that God has brought on, and has given me an opportunity to interview. And I just have felt so very blessed to be able to hear so many people's stories and pass them on, and just to meet moms where they are in between, in the middle of everything. So with all of that, thank you again. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at InBetweenMama, the InBetweenMama on TikTok. And I'm on all the social platforms. I've got a newsletter. I'm trying to connect with you guys in the best ways that I can, while also maintaining my sanity and my children and my husband and my household. And I encourage you to do the same. Stop trying to take on more than you need to. I need to listen to that. So, have a very blessed day. Happy holidays if you're listening to this. Merry Christmas. All of the things. I love you all so much. Jesus loves you. And we'll see you in the next season. Bye.